Hello everyone, it is Olivia. So today we are going to go over how to choose a successful side hustle. Now you may be wondering why my computer is set up like this. I could not for some reason connect the camera to the app. So we're making do with what we have today. But I really want to make this video for you guys because a bunch of people have reached out to me and they're like, look, I don't want to do affiliate marketing, I don't want to do drop shipping, I don't know what I want to do though, but I want to make money online. So this video is designed to help you get to that point. So first things first, I'll give a little overview. So my first side hustle was actually selling stock photos online, I think like 2 or 3 years ago, and it didn't work out too well. I consider myself a decent photographer. I've been doing it ever since like 7th grade, but for some reason they wouldn't sell. I couldn't get the traffic to them. People didn't want to buy them, so that was kind of a busted side hustle. I also tried stocks for a little bit. Not my forte. I had to keep up with the news, and day trading was just not something I felt comfortable with doing at all because there was so much risk involved, which is actually one of the first few things we'll talk about is risk. But yeah, and then in August of 2020, I started freelance copywriting, and that one actually worked out pretty well for a few months. It's just that one was trading time for money, and not about that right now because I'm in college and I just have so much going on. But this book right here, I recommend this for anyone who wants to get started with any sort of side hustle or even just working online and you don't really know where to go. Definitely download this book. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. If you can listen to it on Audible, great. Definitely go walk around, listen to the book. If you can get a hard copy, get a hard copy, but it's definitely one of the must-haves. It's actually under my books I recommend, some of the books I recommend. There's a ton of them on there, but that is like that's a really good book for figuring out kind of like the whole side hustle world. Because he really goes into depth about some things you don't really think of when you're running an online business, like outsourcing and automation and how much that can really come in handy. So definitely give this book a read if you can. Highly recommend. But moving on. So how to pick a successful side hustle. Now, there are 3 main rules, and I kind of glossed over the first 2 a little bit. Risk, time, and cost. Now, when you're starting on a side hustle, it does not want to be something risky. You do not want to be liquidating your 401k. You don't want to be doing, you don't want to be putting thousands of dollars into something and hoping you'll get, tens of thousands of dollars in return. That's not how this works. When you pick a side hustle, you want to pick something that you know is reputable, has had success in the past, and that you're not going to be putting out, all this money or having to withdraw all of this money in hopes that you'll be making it back. I'm a big fan of investment and, putting money into your business and then getting it back at some point. But there are some side hustles like crypto and stocks where it's like super cool. But if you don't understand what you're doing and if you don't understand how the market works, then you are really setting yourself up for failure. So that is number 1. Number 2 is time. Now this was my biggest thing was I started my first side hustle in August of 2020, which was freelance copywriting on this website right here, actually, on Fiverr.com. And it worked out really, really well, but the one thing that I really, really hated was having to trade my time for money. I would be sitting at my desk in college for like 4 or 5 hours per day doing that. And part of the reason is because I did not, invest in myself and learn the basics of how to do copywriting. I literally just learned it as I went. But part of it was it just took up so much of my time and it wasn't what I was looking for. And the third one is cost. How much is your side hustle going to cost you? There's some side hustles where you're going to have to drop a lot of money into it in order for it to get going. But some of them, not so much. You can spend a few, maybe 10, 20, 30, maybe even $100 a month if you can live with that on your side hustle. So those are the big 3 things to take into consideration when choosing one. Now the next question I normally get is, okay, cool, so I know what not to look for and what not to do, but how do I know what side hustle is a good fit for me? So there are 4 things that I like to consider with this one. A gig you enjoy, flexibility, if there's room for growth, and if it actually pays. So I kind of made well, I didn't really make it, but I found it online. This super cool 65 ways you can make an extra income, and these are just some random ideas. These are all ideas of things that have actually worked in the past for people, and you can see it ranges anything from baking to, streaming as a gamer to coaching to blogging. There's so many different ways. These are all things that have room for growth and that actually pay. Now, the two big other ones are, is it something you enjoy, and is it flexible? That's something you need to kind of determine on your own. How to find something you enjoy? I recommend going here. So I just showed you this website. It's called Fiverr. Now you may be wondering, why am I on this website, Olivia? Like, didn't you quit Fiverr a while ago? I did. But this bar is super, super important. Now, what's important about this bar? If you hover over each of these, you can see all sorts of different services that are in demand. So say you're like really, really good at graphics or art or something along those lines, and you're like, okay, well, I'd love to monetize on that skill, I just don't know how. Well, hover over here, and there's like probably 50 different choices that you can choose from of just random things that people are buying every single day. Logo design is huge. And you don't have to be like an art genius to make a logo for people. Like, let's click on this real quick. Like, people are selling logos for $250, $50. If you're just starting out, it might be more like 5 or 10, but like, that's still 5 or 10 extra bucks you didn't know you had. And it doesn't take too much to create those. You can use free websites like Canva. There's so many different options on how you can go about doing something like this. And as you build your skills up, you use more high-tech websites or whatever. But like, just getting started out, Canva's a great way to make some logos. Throw them out there for people. They'll love them. People will pay 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks for, a good logo you can make in an hour. So yeah, hover above all of these different services up here and look and see what each of them offer. My biggest suggestion is, so this is the one I used to work under, is writing and translation. I would do blog posts, I do sales copy, I do product descriptions. I even did a little bit of some of the other stuff in here, but I didn't have a specific gig for it. But regardless, so hover above all of these and just write down the things that stand out to you. So if you're into videos and animation and stuff like that, like, don't think that you have to be some crazy person out there in order to monetize off of those skills. Like, you can literally go on a website like Fiverr, or you go on freelancer.com. Or this website right here. Like, this website is very similar to Fiverr, and people will hire you to make logos, to do writing, to do, you name it, websites. People will hire you to make websites, all sorts of stuff. All you have to do is make an account, and I'm pretty sure this one, I know Fiverr is free to sign up. I'm pretty sure Freelancer is as well. Same with Upwork. These are all different options for you guys, but I just had the most luck off of this one right here. That's why I stuck with it. Same with Upwork. Very, very similar. You put your name out there, and there's so many different things you can do online. But the biggest thing you want to consider is, what is something you enjoy? You have to acknowledge that first. Acknowledge what is something you enjoy. If you enjoy graphic design or anything that falls into this category, then jump on it. I got into writing, like copywriting, without knowing anything about it, and I still made it work for me. I had no clue how to do it in the beginning. I didn't read any books, I didn't take any courses. I had no clue what I was doing. Do I recommend people do that? No. Probably not the wisest decision, because I spent 4 or 5 months just trying to learn the basics of it. But if I could do it without having any knowledge in this category, you can do it with categories that you understand. If you're a gamer, get into video and animation, monetize off of that. There's so many different things you can do. Programming, if you're good with websites and stuff like that, you can make websites for people. They charge a pretty hefty rate to do it. $185. $100, $600 to make a website. I just want people to understand that the possibilities are endless, and if you want, here's some extra motivation, here's some extra inspiration for you. There's 65 ways you can make income online. But the biggest things you want to consider in the beginning are risk, time, and cost. You know, for me personally, time was the biggest one. I'm young, so I was okay with risking a little bit more, but a lot of older people don't want to risk that much. You know, they can't afford to do that. If you have a family, if you have a lot going on, you can't afford that risk. So understand what you're getting into in the beginning. Do some research on each of the side hustles and understand how much it's going to cost. Not just monetary wise, but time wise. Because time is more expensive than money, or time is more important than money. You can always get money back. You can never get time back. So I hope that helped. I know that was kind of a hodgepodge of information thrown at you, but those are some of the best ways to go about choosing a side hustle. And like I said, it doesn't just have to be affiliate marketing or copywriting or even logo design. The possibilities are endless, you guys. You just have to figure out what works best for you. And to do that, you have to do your own research. You know, I can come out here and say, oh my god, affiliate marketing is the best, it's, you know, it's worked really well for me, but for some people it might not work as well. I think it's great for any newbie to get into because it basically helps you understand the fundamentals of running an online business. But, you know, if you want to have your own dog walking business, you know, if you want to like, you can literally make like books like this and sell them on Amazon. You can do it on, maybe not this one in particular, but like a journal. You can make journals and sell them on Amazon. It's very, very simple to do. It's just you have to do the research and be willing to put in the research to do it, you know? So with that being said, I hope that helped. I hope that gave you guys a little bit of motivation to get started. Go on Fiverr, look at that tab and see what's offered there, and then determine which ones you think you'll enjoy, you know, which ones will be flexible, which ones will have low risk, stuff like that. But with that being said, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will be back with more videos very soon.